Hi guys. Today, come design a digital notebook cover with me in Canva. For today's theme, I picked Merida from Brave. Before we start designing, I always look for inspiration on Pinterest. Since I'm making a Merida-themed notebook, I also searched for movie scenes that I could use in the design. After that, I picked the color palette I wanted to work with. If you'd like to see color palettes for other Disney princesses, you can check out the video I linked in the top right corner. Now let's jump into Canva. Create a new A4 sized page and let's start designing. For the first design, I'm going for a classic composition notebook style. First, I upload my color palette. It'll be my guide while designing. Then I upload a forest scene from the movie. Look how beautiful it is. Resize it until it fills the entire page. Next, go to the Elements tab and search for a rectangle shape. Add it to the page and place it on the left side to create a notebook binding. Make it a little wider, then change the color to dark teal. Now go back to the Elements tab and search for a label. Find one that fits the notebook style you're going for. Once you find one you like, add it to the page, make it smaller, and place it at the top center. To change the color, click Edit. Under Filters, click See All, then scroll down until you find Duotone. Click Custom. I want to change the label to a light turquoise color, but I think it looks better a little lighter, so I'll use the same color for both the highlights and shadows. Next, duplicate the label. Click Edit, then under Shadows, choose Outline. Adjust the outline thickness and change the outline color to dark teal. Make the second label slightly smaller and place it in the center of the first one. Adjust the size and position until everything looks balanced. And that's the first notebook cover design finished. Now let's move on to the second design. This time, I want to create a more realistic notebook binding. Head over to the Elements tab and search for a shadow element. Rotate it 90 degrees and place it along the left side of the page. Resize it until it looks right. Since it's a little too dark, I'll lower the opacity to around 31%. Now duplicate the shadow as many times as you need to create the binding. Once you're happy with it, group all the shadows together. It'll make things much easier later if you need to move or adjust the binding. Next, change the background color to the emerald green from our color palette. Go back to the Elements tab and search for a vintage frame that you like. Add it to the page and resize it until it fits the area on the right side of the notebook binding. Then change the frame color to yellow. The frame is a little shorter than the page, so instead of shrinking it, I'm going to crop the bottom part. Then duplicate the frame, flip the crop, and this time keep the bottom while cropping out the top. Place both pieces together and line them up so the side details connect seamlessly. It should look like one complete frame. And don't forget to keep your color palette image on the top layer so it's always easy to reference while designing. Now let's add another decorative frame. Go back to the Elements tab and search for a round vintage frame. I like this one, so I'll resize it and place it right in the center. Then I'll change the color to the same yellow I used earlier. Next, go back to the Elements tab again, but this time search for a round photo frame instead of a graphic. Resize and position it so it fits perfectly inside the vintage frame. This part takes a little patience, but it's worth it to get everything lined up nicely. Once that's done, upload the movie scene of young Merida and her mom into the photo frame. Adjust the photo a little until it looks just right. And that's the second design finished. What do you think? Now let's finish with the third and final design. This one is super easy and only takes 3 simple steps. First, add a photo of Merida. Resize it until it covers about 3/4 of the page, then crop it a little so the composition looks just right. Next, head over to the Elements tab and add a rectangle shape. Resize it to fill the remaining quarter of the page that's still empty, then change the color to the copper orange from our color palette. For the last step, go back to the Elements tab and search for a green fabric photo. Pick one you like, then crop and reposition it on the right side of the cover. The idea is to make it look like a fabric strap wrapped around a journal, but with a digital twist. You can adjust the width and placement however you like. I actually spent a little while deciding which thickness and position looked best, but I think this one works really well. And that's all 3 Merida-inspired digital notebook covers finished. Now I want to hear from you. Which design is your favorite? Let me know in the comments. And if you have another Disney princess or a different theme you'd like me to design next, leave your suggestion below. I'd love to make more of these.